The new Miss Universe is South Africa.
And that was Demi-Leigh Tebow's crowning moment when she became Miss Universe back in 2017. Her platform included educating and empowering women against violence, which Tebow experienced firsthand, and she gets into this in her new memoir. It's a crown that lasts. That's the title. She writes about her pageant career, also surviving a horrific attempted carjacking and then marrying her husband, football legend Tim Tebow. And Demi-Leigh Tebow joins us now. Demi, thank you so much for being here.
Yes.
Thanks, Tony. Thanks for having me.
Thank
You
you.
guys look great.
We're glad you're here.
You look fantastic.
We
You're
matching
here.
a little bit.
Me too.
The book is really terrific.
you.
There's so much here for people to learn about your life, but also learn about how you fought through what was an identity crisis that followed after you win the crown, you have it for a year, then you have to give it back.
That's right.
And that rattled you.
It
You had to
did.
find your way back. Tell us about that.
You know, Tony, it's something you work for such a long time. You know, we look at all the Olympic athletes that just worked for that medal for so many years, and then the next moment comes and you hand that crown over and you face the situation of, you know, what's next, that what's next question. And maybe not everybody here has worn a crown, or people listening might not be able to relate to that, but at some point in our lives, I think it's fair to say that we have all rooted our worth, our value, our identity in something that was temporary, something that fell away, and then you're stuck with, well, what now? You know, what's
Who am
next?
I?
Who am I? Everything that I showed up for every single day is gone, and that was that moment for me.
And writing this book was a process of finding the answer for yourself,
Yeah.
in addition to sharing it
That's right.
with others, right?
Yeah, you know, my crown, my physical crown did not last. I am not wearing it today. But in this book, I write about the things that can last, the impact that we can have every single day, the way that we can show up and love others and essentially make a lasting impact.
You know, I love how you write about when your reign was over and you're standing there and they take your sash, your crown, and you're just standing there. Nobody even tells you, okay, Demi, write this way.
Right.
You lost your way on where to go, but you also tell a very personal story in the book about how you were carjacked, attempted carjacking in South Africa. And you said the most traumatic part wasn't the guy holding the gun to your head, where you literally think you could lose your life, but you escaped and you were asking people for help and nobody helped you. Everybody rolled up their window, get out of here, except one person. And you say, be that girl. Tell us about that girl.
Gayle, I write this whole story actually in depth in my book, and but long story short, I managed to escape that situation, which was horrific. It was awful. I ran up a big avenue in my 6-inch high heels, by the way, okay?
Yes.
And I knocked on window after window. Nobody would stop to help me except for this young girl. She was 19 years old at the time. And you know, all she had was this old little beat up car. But she said, here I am willing to show up for someone in need. And you know the great thing that came from that? I truly believe that she changed such a big trajectory of my life because she taught me something so important. Not just to lend a helping hand, but to be willing to be used in any situation. And, you know, I think so many times we can be fearful and say, you know, what difference can I really make? But look at the ripple effect of goodness that came from her saying, yes, I am willing to help you, and how that has enabled me to help women.
And you still don't know her. You say we should always be that girl.
Yeah.
Wow.
We have to talk about Tim for a second because you.
Sure, I love
unfortunately-
talking about him.
Unfortunately, you lost your sister at the age of 13, and that's how you and Tim bonded. He reached out to you, and you said you started with a 5 to 10 minute phone call, and it lasted 2 hours, 24 minutes, and 6 seconds. But who's counting?
And we haven't stopped talking since.
Your house smells like wet dog, bacon, and pumpkin spice, my kind of place. But what is it about him and the two of you together? Because both of you have very strong faith.
Yeah, our faith is something that has brought us together. It's the foundation of our relationship. When I first met Tim, I knew nothing about football. I know we've got football season coming up. I know just enough to make a couple of jokes. Go Gators! I had to throw that in there. That's for husband. You know, something that really brought us together was the love that we have for people, the love that we share for people. My little sister, that was born with severe special needs and disabilities, was our little matchmaker. through the work that the Tim Tebow Foundation does. One of the initiatives is called Night to Shine, and it's a worldwide celebration for people just like my sister.
Yeah.
And
Demi-
through the two, that's how we met.
Demi-Leigh Tebow, the book ends with part 4, Flourish. You're certainly flourishing. We thank you
Yes.
for being here.
Thanks for having
The
me,
book is
guys.
called A Crown That Lasts. You can get it today wherever you buy your books. Thank you, really. This has
Thank
been
you.
great.